In the frozen expanse of Antarctica, a research team had been drilling deep into the Ross ice shelf, chasing whispers of a prehistoric organism buried for millennia. Dr. Elias Cade, the expedition leader, was obsessed. Satellite scans had shown an anomaly, something massive and alive encased in ice deeper than any life should exist. After weeks of drilling, the team broke through to an enormous, glittering cavern beneath the ice. It was an impossible space, its walls shimmering with veins of blue light, as if the ice itself pulsed with a heartbeat. In the center stood a hulking dark mass that seemed to absorb light rather than reflect it. "Nadia, what is it?" The black mass looked like a frozen shadow, but its surface writhed as though alive. Strange markings surrounded it, carved into the ice in spiraling alien patterns. Dr. Cade knelt, brushing snow away from one of the carvings. "Nadia, it's a warning. Dr. Cade, it's a discovery." Without hesitation, he reached out and touched the shadow. The cavern trembled, and the shadow pulsed violently. A low, guttural sound echoed through the chamber, rising into a deafening shriek. The shadow began to uncoil, extending impossibly long tendrils that slithered through the air like smoke. The markings on the ice glowed crimson, casting eerie reflections on the walls. "Nadia, Cade, we have to leave!" But Cade was transfixed, his eyes wide with fascination, or terror. The shadow lashed out, a tendril wrapping around one of the other researchers. The man screamed as his body began to wither, his flesh dissolving into black mist. The shadow seemed to grow larger, feeding on him. "Dr. Cade, it's alive! Nadia, not for long!" Nadia grabbed the emergency flare gun from her pack. She fired at the writhing shadow, the light burning through one of its tendrils. The creature recoiled, its form flickering, as if it were made of unstable light and darkness. The ice beneath them began to crack. The cavern was collapsing. "Nadia, run!" She dragged Cade by his arm as the shadow surged toward them. The team scrambled back toward the drill site, the ice shattering behind them. The shadow pursued them, tendrils lashing out, pulling equipment and crates into its void-like mass. One by one, the researchers fell, their screams echoing in the hollow expanse. When Nadia and Cade finally burst through the tunnel to the surface, the storm outside was in full force. They collapsed into the snow, gasping for air. The shadow stopped at the tunnel entrance, writhing and screeching as if bound by some unseen force. "Dr. Cade, it's trapped. It can't leave the cavern." Nadia didn't respond. Her eyes were fixed on the horizon. The storm clouds above them were darkening, twisting unnaturally. Tendrils of black mist were seeping out of the ice, stretching toward the sky. "Nadia, we didn't trap it. We woke it." As the wind howled, the shadow began to rise, its form merging with the storm, stretching across the icy wasteland. Whatever they had unearthed was no mere creature. It was ancient, endless, and now free. The last radio transmission from the research station was a frantic, garbled message. "Researcher, it's not just in the ice. The ice." And then, silence. "Please like, share, and subscribe."